time it is!
Welcome once again to the C Squared Hour. We are the Chris's, the reason Fox Sports is now showing bowling. This is what we started this daytime today. Started our show prep and everything.
We did
one of the few times. So if you feel a sense of energy, that's the reason it comes from it.
Well, energy, I like time it is. And I just want to say, like,
I bet from us,
the listeners are pumped right now. You got the music, you got, time it is. That's good shit. We're fucking coming in cold.
Yeah,
it should be known.
Just remember, just because you're crazy pumped up with the intro, because we picked a pretty damn good intro.
I think it was a good intro. Yeah.
We don't get that every time. So
no, every time I listen to it, I think that I listen to it and I'm like, fuck, that's time it is.
I'm pumped, man.
That's good.
All right, beer this week. I got to give a big shout out to Kayla and Sam. They hooked me up with this beer, told me I should try it.
Do they listen?
Oh yeah.
Nice.
I mean, at least one of them. I could say the female, but then we still don't know. But no, no, Kayla definitely listens.
He's a Chiefs fan.
Ew, yeah, and she pretends to be. You know how broads are with football. You know what I'm saying? Lagunitas Brewing Hazy Memory IPA. So I enjoy the hazy IPAs.
Actually, I really like that beer.
Yeah, it's a good one. So I definitely appreciate it. And
as we get about 20 more minutes into this podcast, I think everyone's going to know how much we enjoy this.
Well, and just remember, Sam/Kayla, I shouted you out. Share this fucker around, all right?
With discretion.
Nah, fuck that. This podcast ain't going to share itself. I told you, I did promise. I promised you. I promised my listeners. I'm going to try to avoid my exasperated my just my fucking 45-year-old lady, whining about the fucking news. I will try to avoid that.
Trying to get off the couch.
I'll well, yeah, fat guy trying to get off the couch. That's probably where I practiced it. But I promise I'll try to avoid that. Okay.
If we're carrying on about our own insecurities, I'd like to apologize for my overall pretentiousness and know-it-all sound. I'm not kidding. I listen to this and I think, God, that fucking guy would annoy the shit out of me if I had to listen to him. Like, fuck, he thinks he knows everything.
In all fairness, we started this podcast because we know everything. So,
well, I listen. I'm definitely not wrong. Like, everything that guy says, I know he's fucking right on with what he's saying. He just sounds like an asshole the way he says it. Real pretentious.
Yeah. No, I'll give you that. I haven't met a whole lot of people that don't subscribe to your opinion. So I'll stick with you on that one.
I hope you're fucking joking right now.
Wish I was.
I mean, a lot of people say they like hanging out with me.
Well, that's anyone who said anyone's like, yeah, Chris is cool, but
that's always the but,
right? That's one of the few buts. And then there's the whole pissing on people's carpets and starting fights in back seats.
When it comes to starting fights in back seats, I think you're at least 2 ahead of me.
Oh, dude, at least. I'm a scrapper.
The snowstorm? Fucking snowstorm?
We'll get to that later.
Holy shit, that was a night. What
we got to do, and we kind of fucked up last week. Not only did Rush Limbaugh pass away, one of the biggest names in radio and broadcasting, Larry Flint passed away.
Yeah,
possibly the biggest name in I don't know, freedom of speech arguments or things along those
the
lines.
man took a bullet for free speech.
Right.
I mean, we should be ashamed of ourselves that we forgot. I mean, it was on our list. And
went in front of Congress with fucking pictures and reading shit. Yeah. Yeah.
Stands for everything that we are trying to do here.
Right. And regardless.
Stood for, not for long.
Regardless of how much Gen Z tries to take away, his legacy will live on. No, so rest in peace.
Come on, I made a wheelchair joke, and you didn't even flinch.
You didn't fucking laugh at my Pistorius joke last week, so go fuck yourself.
Oh my god, we're carrying shit over, are we?
I don't know. I'm sorry.
Fuck, I didn't know I was doing this with my wife.
To be fair, the way you roll, this would be the only thing you'd be doing with your wife. Oh, and also...
I've been on top-notch behavior lately.
You just got real serious. Do you need a hug? Oh, what else? There it is. Sigh. That wasn't exasperated, though. That was more winding down from a laugh.
Yeah, there's a wind-down period. A proper wind-down period, I think, can be accompanied with a sigh.
Okay, fair enough. We also want to say... that Tiger Woods seems fine.
Yeah.
Fucked up his leg quite a bit. Still hoping it kind of reset his back, maybe. So we're going to see another big Tiger run. But yeah, it seems fine. Just we'll see what happens with his leg. But
yeah, we're definitely going for Tiger to get the record.
Indeed. Well,
if you didn't notice, it's we're making an attempt at actually getting to the shit that we say we're going to get to every week. We always say, "Oh, we'll talk about that next week."
In all honesty, though, this is the first time we've ever tried it. We're one in a row, baby.
I tell my kid I'm going to go to his games too,
Just because you make one doesn't mean you're actually doing it, bro.
I'm just kidding. I do a pretty good job of that, by the way.
Only because your kids aren't playing sports yet. Did you
talking about my older one, man?
I got you, Chris. I have to tell you something.
Yeah.
I don't know how this is gonna sound. We went off on the rails. You pissed like a diabetic, so there's part that's gonna get cut out. So who the fuck knows how this sounds? But that would have been an amazing transition if it works well. So we'll find out. But people are finally getting on board with gender reveal parties. How much I have fucking hated them. I know there's been an episode previous that I've brought them up.
Yeah.
But come on, you know how long I have hated these fucking things.
Oh, absolutely. And first of all, outside of maybe you and your parents, nobody gives a shit about the sex of your child. Let's face it.
They do if they want to go to your baby shower, because then they know what to have to buy. If they don't want to go to your baby shower but are still going, they don't give a flying fuck.
Yeah. I guess. I mean, you got to subject the whole world to, hey, look, we're having a girl.
It is just another sense of this just fucking social media narcissism that is fucking out there. Everyone wants to be,
You hit it. Your world is so important
that the whole fucking world needs to see it. Yeah. Well, finally, we're seeing karma come around.
That's right.
Tell him. One of the OG squareheads. That's right. Do you still like that?
I love it.
All right. One of the OG squareheads, shout out Denny, sent me...
Shout out Denny!
Sent me a video of a guy when him and his wife with a Roman candle to, shoot off blue or pink, and they had it backwards. He got drilled right in the fucking nuts with it.
Not to steal your thunder. I'm reading an article. It was actually about a week ago. Here's what's funny is you and I both had experiences reading about gender reveal parties, which tells you how oversaturated this problem is in society.
Well, you remember
we didn't even talk about it, but like in the last week, we both, a man was building a homemade bomb with color in it for a gender reveal and killed himself.
Was that the other one I was going to talk about? Is that the one that Jerry Springer shared on
I'm
his
not
Facebook?
sure. I don't follow Jerry Springer. Sorry, I had to say that. What? Don't give me that look.
Oh no,
he's no Maury Povich.
I just don't know who I'm doing this with anymore.
Let me finish. I'll be brief. So the guy kills himself, obviously, because he's a fucking. And my biggest, I'm thinking, the most unfortunate aspect to this is that he killed himself after he had the ability to procreate. But the best part is after the article, and it was a really somber article. It went over this guy who kills himself building the gender reveal bomb, and then it talked about the wildfire that was started in, I think, Colorado, and then another person that killed themselves.
When the California, one of the big
fires was a gender reveal.
That's wrong. Right. That fucking destroyed everybody.
But after they're talking about all these wildfires and deaths, it says related videos, and it's like this the guy getting hit in the nuts with one.
Perfect.
And I just thought it was great that I think it might have been CNN or New York Times or something, but they go to related articles after all this death
right.
and shit, and it's this guy getting hit in the nuts. It was great.
It is the perfect level of karma.
Right.
I hate the fact that people die. And we could be talking about the same thing, so I'm not going to go too into the article I talked. But it sucks that people die, but it's kind of what you get.
Yeah.
All this fucking look at me shit, it's just another... You know what you do? You put up a fucking balloon and you text your parents. That's what you do.
I'm thinking
Or if you're inviting people to your baby shower, say, hey, it's a boy, here's our baby shower. Hey, it's a girl, here's our baby shower. That's all you need to fucking do. No one gives a shit. And the only people who go viral anymore for this, I know you're all trying to go viral, are either celebrities or people who get maimed.
Yeah. Can I say this guy was just going to be raising his kid. Now he's not, and that kid's going to grow up with a lot of real grit, a lot of real toughness now. Being,
true.
You know, and I think he did his kid a favor. I really do.
My dad died to let people know I was coming.
That's going to be a tough ass kid.
Right. I could see that being a wrestling.
Oh, fuck. That is a backstory for a pro wrestler if I ever heard
My daddy
one.
died to bring me into this world.
I'm thinking
you've been watching wrestling lately?
That's gonna either be a pro wrestler or a circus performer, but the kid's gonna have some character
or podcast host.
You know, I don't watch pro wrestling anymore. It's gone to shit. It's gone to shit,
dude. It's getting better. I'm back in. My nephew, I'm trying to get him into wrestling because I think it shaped me into the man I am.
That's why you're watching pro wrestling.
It shaped me into the man I am today.
Say again, because I know you never stop.
I know. I hit it very well, but I was always...
Most of us gave it up when we got to high school.
Hey, I gave it up for like 3 months. Then I got laid for the first time, and I realized, I can still watch wrestling and get laid, so...
Yeah, I remember your 25th birthday.
Hey-o!
Well, that's a joke. Because, really, you get a lot more tail than you should.
I really did. I really
did.
Yeah.
Sorry, past tense.
I really did a lot better work than I should have. So, I appreciate that. Where the fuck was I going with this? Gender reveal parties.
Yeah, we're at gender reveals.
So, thank
it's
fucking
too
God.
early in the episode for us already. Like, we always start kind of sharp. And then by the end, it just devolves to the shit show.
I blame this on you because you wanted to get us pumped up. You wanted to listen to the last 10 minutes of our last episode because you felt it went really well.
Oh, it was fucking great.
I enjoyed it as well, but
if you tuned out early, you missed out.
Mm-hmm. But that's the problem. Now we're in that mindset. So you people are in for 45 minutes worth of fucking...
Usually we got to work ourselves up to get there.
No, so thank God we're starting to see the downside, and thank God.
So do you think we're going to see less gender reveals?
Have you noticed social media is finally coming out against them?
Yeah, absolutely.
Like within the last week, 2 weeks, people are finally saying, stop this fucking nonsense, which I've been saying for about 5 fucking years when I saw the first one.
Absolutely.
Well, the first one I saw was like a professional baseball player who did it. And you remember, we're sitting there hungover watching SportsCenter. So what the fuck is this shit? Then I have to go on a walk and you worry about me and all that sort of stuff. I go on a walk or punch a hole through the wall.
It's God. No, so do we think that we're going to see less gender reveals now?
Fuck, I hope so.
Is the trend on the downswing?
Fucking Christ, I hope so. I would be fine with never seeing one again.
If only we had that kind of influence.
I was pleasantly surprised though. I saw an article. Demi Lovato was on my side.
Oh,
Now, Demi Lovato.
I'm a little shocked.
Demi Lovato, kind of right up my alley as far as celebrity broads go.
Yeah.
I mean, you've seen her. You could see how a squared could be get on that, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, so I read an article. She's against gender reveal parties. So I'm like, all right, fucking another thing we have in common. Until I realized she doesn't like gender reveal parties because it's assuming the sex before the kid can decide.
Oh, Christ. That's right. It's another institution of...
That's right. It's
what exactly is the anti-trans institution? Can't call it misogyny because misogyny inherently is against one sex.
Notre Dame? I don't know.
Yeah, I know.
It's like, fucking Christ. Can we stop this?
Well,
they should be playing our sports. So.
Sorry.
This definitely working well. No, they just, can we stop this? You and I both agree. I don't give a flying fuck, how you present yourself, or that was a really shitty way of saying that, but how you identify or what you feel you are or what there's two problems I have with that whole thing.
All right.
First of all, if you feel you're a woman, I will call you she, all that stuff.
Fair enough.
Don't give a fuck. All right. Two problems I have with it. A, getting pissed off at somebody for making an honest mistake, saying, "Oh, nice to meet you, sir. I'm sorry, this is ma'am. How dare you say that?" Like, that's a problem.
Sorry, you need to do a better job if you want me to call you she.
Obviously, you're still on the Mach 3. I mean, there's Mach 5, hun.
No, yeah.
And second of all,
if it's clear that there's no malice in your heart, then yeah, give me a break. I'm sorry if I don't mean to offend anyone. So,
well, that's the same thing with everybody. You've given me shit about some of the jokes I've made, whether they be Semitic or racist or whatever you think.
Mm-hmm.
But they're jokes. I don't mean any malice behind it. Everything I've said on this fucking show is satirical. So I hope we never get famous enough for us to go backwards and me lose jobs over, this shit. But
that's an interesting conundrum.
It's
Would you take the fame if it meant we had to lose it because of what we said?
If you told me beforehand and I could save all the fucking money, I don't give a shit. Just pay me, motherfucker.
So I guess as it stands, just rule of thumb, if we ever make any money on this, we better fucking put it away.
Or we just make sure at least once an episode we say the word satire. or alleged or others.
Honestly, I think it's important that somebody stands up, not only for free speech, but
Larry Flint tried, and then they made sure he could. I digress. Go ahead, sir.
no, you just jumped on my wheelchair joke. Jumped all over my wheelchair joke.
Really, you were trying to make that joke.
That was the same joke I made. Not only 5 minutes ago. It was a fucking good joke.
It really was. In fact, I stole it, so it must have been real good.
No, I appreciated it. It was funny.
What
the fuck was I saying? No, I think it's important, and this is maybe me getting on my soapbox, but it only takes a few to stand up and say we're done with cancel culture, and I really think the masses will follow.
Well, I told you the only people getting canceled are. I mean, we discussed this, and you were a little argumentative with me, but the only people who are getting canceled are the ones who are getting a check or whose main income is from companies who will listen to that shit. Disney, NBC, those are the people getting canceled because, how dare this group who's
right, the rabble-rousers get upset,
gone on the right side of it, but people who've built their own shit, people who are beyond canceling because what the fuck are you gonna take from them? It's all mine anyway.
Sure.
Anyway, the two things I have, the only problems I have with the whole trans thing or whatever are the honest mistakes. If I call you him and you want to be her, just tell me. If I continue to do it...
And do a better job of looking like a her.
I didn't think that needed to be repeated. I thought that went without saying. That was... there's that part of it. And B, the science isn't there for you to play sports with opposite genders.
Yeah, we're going to absolutely agree on the sports issue.
I mean, especially combat sports.
Yeah, that is a dude beating up a chick.
And Rogan said the same thing to a lot more people and a lot better. But we haven't figured out how to make the science the same. No matter how many hormones you take, you're still, So
that's
let's
the new
figure
angle
that
now,
shit.
is the politicians are saying they need to be able to transition before puberty. So you're literally starting to see people now that want to push laws that allow transition before puberty. And my argument to that is, in high school, I
still
used
wanted
glue to make a mohawk.
I still wanted to be an astronaut before puberty.
Exactly. Kids go through stupid phases.
I still thought there's a possibility. I still thought there's a possibility I could explore uncharted lands in America when I was 12 years old. You really want me to sign?
Yeah, no, kids jump through these phases.
Right, so let's get off. Anyway, Demi Lovato.
Hey, you guys were on it for once. You guys were on the same side.
Yeah, I'm sure your heart's in the right place.
For little victories.
Don't be a dummy. All right. So let's get to some positive news. So we're bombing the shit out of Syria, right?
Yeah, I love it. I heard so much about it on the mainstream media. It was fucking blowing up. Everything I couldn't get away from reading about it.
People call me the racist. You just said you love that we're bombing brown people. And I'm the racist.
I think they understood my facetious tone. Squared.
Yeah, they God, that's got to be big fucking news. The first major combat action done by our new administration.
Not a goddamn thing.
Oh, you didn't hear anything either?
No.
Oh, I thought I was looking at the wrong news articles.
No.
All right. Well, you're not the only one. In fact, congressmen, senators, people on the
Nobody heard about that action of war.
What's the you're not going to know this either, but everyone's going to know what I'm talking about if they're halfway intelligent. There's a position, the national security, not the national security advisor, but there's something in Congress.
The committee, the
head of the committee to do
the war committee. You're right. I can't think of.
Biden used to be that guy.
Yeah.
Under Clinton, I believe. But the guy who is that guy under Biden still hasn't heard word about it from Biden.
I don't want to get into the exact points of whether it's right or wrong what we're doing, but it has to upset people that.
Well, the answer is yes.
There's absolutely no criticism of this president.
The answer is yes. It is right or wrong. Every act of war we've ever done is right or wrong.
Sure.
There's on both sides of it. So, yeah, you don't have to get into it because the answers are, well, there's me being a fucking amateur.
Honestly, I like that sound.
Do you?
Dong. Had a cool echo.
Nice. No, but yeah, the current administration.
No, I would like to see a little more criticism of this president. I think we talked about this last week, so I'm really ready for when I come across the live horse. That one's for you, my man.
You do love that joke.
I got you.
No, so it took again. There was a few things Biden promised, right? One of the big ones was be willing to work more with the Senate and Congress. Well, you read one of the 4 news articles I could find.
Wait a minute. Executive orders are exactly how you work with the Senate and the Congress.
Well, I don't remember if it was with you or it was the solo one where I was talking about. The only reason they did the second impeachment thing is so he could push through the executive orders that he wanted to do.
Sure.
With less news coverage.
Yeah, absolutely. Create a shitstorm. Get the beginnings of the agenda
just
pushed.
let ABC News, be worrying about the impeachment, watching that while he's in the other room, handing out his pens after he signs each letter, with his executive orders. And you get less of that because the red people are worried about what's going on with the...
Show them the handgun in your left hand.
I'm sorry. Republicans, not Native Americans. The red voting people...
That was Peter Pan, man. That ain't me.
Yeah, was that before or after Disney stopped being racist? Were they? They were racist up until mid '80s, weren't they? No, they were fucking racist up to Mulan.
Look, it's a moving target because race has changed so goddamn much. That's what I'm gonna say.
Well, it's like Burr says, you need to die young. You die young, no one cares. Look, regardless of what we say about Disney movies, we can all say Song of the South, so underrated. Regardless of all the shit you think. It's fucking so good, you're fucking spilling shit over there.
I don't feel comfortable commenting on that.
Name a catchier song than that.
We're not fucking racist.
Name a catchier song than that.
Do, 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 do,
God damn it, you won.
Doing crystal meth will lift you up until you break.
That wasn't exasperated. That was a laugh. We talked about this.
I don't have a problem with it anyway. I think it's all right. I think you're too hard on yourself, buddy.
I know.
Too hard.
I know.
Hey, you gotta look in the mirror, and you gotta love that guy.
It doesn't matter what the rest thinks. It matters what that guy. So, yeah, Syria bombing the shit out of them. Apparently, well, it wasn't Syria. It was Iranian-led militant groups in Syria or some shit like that. They sold it some way like that.
I gotta say, these are the strikes that we're hearing about. So are you not a little horrified at the strikes we're not hearing about?
Well, to be fair, we jumped down Vice News' shit a couple weeks ago.
Mm-hmm.
I was watching their... I went back and watched some of the shows they have now that they're on Showtime.
Yeah.
And they went into... I'm going to try to pronounce this right so I don't get yelled at. Niger. And they talked about a lot of the bombings that have been happening there that
fucking idiot.
The news hasn't picked up. A little early for us to get canceled, bro. Anyway,
Oh man, it's hot tonight.
they showed they talked about a lot of the bombings that were happening there that no one's hearing about. But yeah, it was Iranian backed militia groups or some shit like that.
Oh yeah, sure.
So thank God we got a new president there, eh?
Yeah.
Someone,
eh?
Someone
Oh, hey, about our president, eh?
someone willing to work with Congress and the Senate, really looking to talk to them.
I would like to hear from our squareheads on the left.
Squareheads.
Are they not a little bit
annoyed?
Tell me
concerned?
something that
concerned maybe?
We clearly you got your boy back in the White House there, or somebody who says the same kind of shit that you do, at least. How do you feel about those bombs we're dropping? It's the drone warfare. Doesn't that seem a little cowardly, that drone strike shit?
I don't know. There's that part of it, and there's also the part of it where it's better for the American citizens. So.
If you can't commit your own boys to going and fighting, then you shouldn't fucking be there. Boys and girls. We send girls now.
Or whatever they want to call themselves. But there's the argument. If you're going to send ground troops, maybe if you are the commander-in-chief, you should have had to serve. There's that argument. Yeah. But I'm hit or miss on that. But it comes down to the fact that his main running point was, I'm going to work with the Senate. I'm going to work with the Congress more.
His main running point was,
I'm not Trump.
My name's not Donald J. Trump.
Right. There's
Donald Jackson Trump.
But that was the big thing. He's going to work. And again, it took me. Did you know Google still has 3 pages, by the way?
What?
Google. If you Google something,
yeah,
you could say load more and load more. There's still 3 pages of Google.
Oh, I don't know. I stopped using Google a long time ago.
But you would think with how, quickly stuff comes up from that, no one's ever, gone past the first page anymore. But so you finally get down to an article.
Well, I don't know. All the porn sites come up on the first page. It's not like when we were kids and you really had to dig,
Dude, Bing is where you search porn, by the way.
Really?
Bing is, straight up.
The shit I learned doing this podcast.
Dude, I'm telling you, for not being as big of a sleazebag as you, I know the sleazebag tricks a lot better.
You're more of a virtual sleazebag. I like to do my sleazebagging in person,
I'm more of a, what you'd call a retro sleazebag.
I'm an eye-to-eye sleazebag. Hand to hand.
Anyway, I'll keep going while you
I'll collect myself.
right, while you collect yourself. But
I'm good enough to stay in a courtroom right now. So
it took 3.5. We can tell that story right after this, but
we should. It's a good one.
It took me about 3.5 pages down on Google to finally find a news story that really like brought up the fact that there are that there are numerous representatives on both sides that are very upset that Biden still hasn't said shit to them about it. Like there was the guy who was the head of whatever thing I was talking about earlier. He said, "Fuck, I learned about it from the news."
So, do you want to speculate on his thinking? I mean, where's the agenda here? Who's really pulling those strings?
I mean, it's the same people as everything.
War
but
economy is that?
Well, yeah, it's the same
that's our
shit.
best guess.
Everyone's full of the same amount of shit. Like, you're going to get more of the same. The problem is he ran on saying, hey, you're going to get more of the same, but I'm going to do it the way the last 42 of them did it.
I'm going to do it how you like it.
Right, exactly. and then here he comes, throwing it in raw, just like Trump used to do. So why isn't there the outrage about that? Like, why is that? I mean, the impeachment is over.
Yeah.
There's nothing to hide this. Where is the outrage?
I can't tell you. I hope somebody can.
You got more of the line on the hippies than I do. So, no, it's he runs on all this.
Maybe. I have more of the line on hippies. Suppose maybe. I don't know.
You know more of them. I'm not saying you agree with them or anything like that. You just know more hippies than I do.
Fair point.
All right. Just why are we sit here? We've sat here for, I mean, recording for close to a year now, off and on,
mm-hmm.
and we've been talking about this for decades.
Yeah.
Can this be the first opportunity? Because this, the bombing only happened Sunday. We're recording this on a Tuesday, right? Some along those lines, Tuesday or Saturday.
I don't know the exact day that I heard, but yeah, it's not been long.
Right. Could this be?
It was over the weekend.
I mean, this is the real first opportunity for Gen X and the millennials and,
mm-hmm.
you know, the people who are really behind Biden or really anti-Trump to really say, hey, this is the same shit we were upset about, or one of the things we were upset about. Isn't this kind of the first opportunity they have to not say they're full of shit?
Right. I mean, you remember, we're both very skeptical. We always have been. But I remember when Obama was elected, having like, well, at least we have a Democrat in the White House. So we're going to see, you know, freedom of speech, personal freedom, social freedoms are going to be protected. And we thought, you know, hey, the war agenda is going to go down. And we believed that. We really did. Whether you liked him or not, or whether you voted for him or not, you thought there is going to be some benefit that comes here. And I personally was very disappointed on that front. I know you were as well.
To be fair, if you remember back in the 80s, who started the whole anti-music thing? It was Tipper Gore, right?
Tipper Gore, yeah.
From the left. The left has always seemed to be the language police. It seems like to the public. Whereas the conservatives are the language police. Like, we want you... I don't know how to say this, but... I can see in your eyes. You know where I'm going with this.
Well,
but they're...
Ladies and gentlemen, I'm sitting up.
Someone's getting ready. No, but the left has always been the language police to an extent. but it's
have they? Because I don't feel that way. I think the new liberals and the old liberals don't have a lot in common on that front. I feel like freedom of speech used to be really important to anybody who said, hey, you know me, I bleed blue. I thought freedom of speech, freedom of religion to them was, hey, the freedom to be atheist. And it's like after a lot of these fights have been won, they've regressed. Once you have the rest of society on board with you, it doesn't matter what you believe. Groupthink takes over. As soon as the rest of the country
that could be it too
is on board, you now have mob mentality.
That could be it too, because
no matter how righteous your cause,
the whole censorship of music, that was the Reagan years.
Yeah.
So they were trying to go anti that, and so also I would like to know how. I mean, we weren't alive then, so who the fuck knows? But if you look at
we need to
the last
about Denny, he'd be a great guy to run this by.
The last thing I remember was the whole Tipper Gore thing, like if you look last thing, and then you come back here and it's the cancel culture thing and all that sort of shit. So it seems like the blues again, Democrats, not people suffering from frostbite, but the blues. seem to be more of the general language police, where it's the Reds are, look, here's what I believe. Again, conservative, not people who sunburn easily, but they. Oh shit! God, I thought that was better than you gave me.
Can I?
Anyway,
well,
no, just real quick. Let me finish.
Okay.
Let me finish. That was a shitty joke. I get it. All right.
Hey, that's you, not me, man.
I know. I fucked up, but where
I meant you sunburn easy.
Where it's the conservatives.
I was going with your joke.
The conservatives are more stringent on the language, but only when it pertains to them personally.
Oh, absolutely. The hypocrisy runs deep.
Where it seems like conservatives are more like, I want God on my money because I get my money, but everyone else, I don't give a fuck what they have. That's a very simplistic, and that ain't right. That the way I made that.
Well, I'll tell you, everything we're talking about really, what sticks out to me right now is this is maybe the first time I can think of, and if anybody has something smarter about this, let me know. But this is the first time.
Let me interrupt you real quick.
Yeah.
Isn't it funny how we talk about, like, what the fuck we know in history? Like, dude, we've sat through, 5 presidents? Like, we know, like, we've sat through a good amount of history. So the fact that we're sitting here saying, like, we don't know shit.
Speaking culturally, though, I think to talk about modern American history really starts post-World War II.
Well, and also there hasn't been the internet revolution and all that.
But true.
But there hasn't been
tech revolution.
Right. There hasn't been a
we lived through that shit.
Right. But there hasn't really been a kind of like a 1960s like hippie movement type thing. There hasn't been like the mass exodus of the.
That's part of what I was getting at,
right.
Is that it blows me away that this is the first time I believe that with the young, with the kids, with the youth, it's fucking cool to be like aligned with the government. Like we trust the man. We want to. The kids today have more faith in government than I think ever.
Well,
and one thing that at least when it was always every generation. Ours and the ones before us, the only thing they had in common is they didn't trust. Hey, man. And I guess this is what I'm getting. In the 60s, it was don't trust anyone over 30 and, don't trust the man. And now all those kids that grew up in the 60s and 70s are now in power. And I think they've got the kids indoctrinated pretty good. I think it starts... I think you see it a lot in colleges.
They figure out how to say, hey, here is why we didn't trust the man.
Right.
Here's how we're going to fool everyone else.
They
into
have
trusting the man.
repackaged the same bullshit in a way that it looks more enticing to kids and sold it to them through college that's primarily backed by state-funded loans.
And now...
Send everyone to college. Doesn't matter if you devalue the degree, but just brainwash them.
That's the whole thing. You look at inflation. What's inflation? Everyone having to... You're inflating the culture. Anyway, the only thing I'm glad... I was raised on breast milk, not chest milk.
Now...
Is that now? Let me ask you: is that
no? The
are
argument,
we just dumb white guys, or is that just fucking nutty?
Well, listen. Here's the argument: is that you can't call it breast milk because if you breastfeed, it is not inclusive to trans couples who have babies.
Real quick, does that mean they don't call it breast cancer on men?
Because well, I know men have breasts.
20% of breast cancer patients are males.
The nipple does not make the breast. Don't tell the FCC because they edit it all the same.
But the breast can make the nipple. All right. Be here all week, folks.
Let's say what here's honestly when I look at this and I see trans men coming in and saying you can't call it breastfeeding. I should say trans women, formerly men, now women. But what this really is...
That's the tough thing. Like,
isn't
which
this
what
just men taking more shit away from women? Because it used to be that breastfeeding was a woman's thing. It was inherently... And through all of history, only for women. And now this is just men taking one more thing. Now, and I believe I'm a feminist. As a feminist, I'm disgusted that men think they can step in and take...
You are effeminate.
No, really. Men think that they can step in and take one more thing away from women.
That is
the one thing that one of the very few things women have that they can say, men, fuck off, you don't know, you don't understand, and men are going to take that away from women.
Is titty milk. Yeah.
Men don't know what it's like to fucking breastfeed. You don't know what it's like to have a child sucking at your nipple.
Well, you know what? Maybe they should. Maybe regardless of the gender you're born with, maybe for the first 6 months, a child should suck on your nipple no matter if there's nutrients coming out of it or not.
I doubt we have too many female listeners out there.
I can count at least 3.
I'm sure that all of them would actually appreciate my very sarcastic.
No,
not sarcastic. It's a wise ass. It's a facetious argument, indeed.
But it ain't wrong.
Yeah,
you know, it's
absolutely.
It's one of, and does that cheapen what mothers do with their children? I'm
not a mother, but according to some mothers I spoke to, yes, it does.
It just seems like it's they chest feed. I don't even give I don't give a flying fuck about that. But you have so many causes you need to fight.
Mm-hmm.
You have so many hills you have to climb, and what you're gonna do is fight over that shit.
Yeah.
So here's what I want. I want you, hopefully, going along with what you're saying. And you can stop me if you disagree. No more Breast Cancer Awareness Month.
Yeah.
That's gone. If you don't breastfeed, you don't get breast cancer.
Absolutely.
So there goes all your pink ribbons, all your, pink shit.
Yeah, you have to. Yeah, if you're gonna make the breast not
And now you have to include males in your whole fucking month because, first of all, don't they have fucking 2 months somehow? Didn't they get fucking November and not June, May?
I don't know,
somehow?
But I'm wondering if we are making breasts,
Let's
not exclusive. Can we have free reign to touch and grab breasts? Can we see breasts? I'm curious.
If we're going to take
the female only connotation away, can we have free reign on them puppies?
In fairness, a few years ago there was a celebrity movement that was Free the Nipple, where it was a bunch of women saying, "Hey, let us be topless and by God, I loved it because,
Absolutely.
I'm a tit man. And
You are a tit man.
I love some jerk material.
I like titties, but you are a tit man.
Mm-hmm. So to be fair, there was a sect of that population that was trying to do that. But why? You have to make breastfeeding gender neutral? I don't fucking get it.
I'm disgusted with it. I think these men should be ashamed of themselves from trying to steal that from women.
Now, wasn't it brought? Have you seen any? I've looked through articles. I have not seen one male figure or trans male figure or trans woman figure or anything making that argument.
Well, from gay friends I have. No, I be honest, I don't have a lot of trans friends, but gay friends cringe when they hear this because they feel like, fuck, this is just going to set us back
Right.
so far. Like they hear this and it's not good. It's not good for the cause. Like, and to push further, I think you have to know if honestly, if you inclusion was really your goal, if acceptance was your goal, you would not take that narrative, right? This is people that are trying to go out of their way.
Well, it's marketing. It's marketing 101. Like, why are you going? Like, let's look at how are we going to get included in society? This is not the first step you make.
No,
not at all. And then
this grabs headlines.
The sports argument is not the one you're going to make.
So one could argue that this is, well, not one. I'm going to argue that I think most of this doesn't come from deep within the gay or the trans movement, but I think this is the shadowy powers that be making sure that we are at enough agitation with each other that, we can never come together enough to understand that the common enemy is not the guy that lives next to you, but it's politicians, it's billionaires, it's lobbyists.
I'll give you that. Us. I'll give you that argument. However, I take it one step further in the back room, or I don't know. I think I take it in the side room where is all these arguments are happening. They say, "Hey,
took it in the back room." Hey, it's usually you. I had to do it.
We can't make those fucking jokes right now. We're trying to be allies.
All right. Go on.
No, they're saying, there's a lot of good arguments for all this shit. Let's silence those ones and let these ones come out, kind of thing. Is that kind of what you're saying, or you just? I'm not. I'm saying all the arguments exist.
Yeah.
They're all out there. Just the mainstream media and the.
He's doing the voice, guys. He's doing the voice.
He's
doing the voice. I love it. I love the voice.
So there's about 8 years back where we are. I have to go to traffic court for a bunch of nonsense. It's court. There's nothing going on, right?
Mm-hmm.
Now, I bring the other Chris along because, by God, a court date, no matter what it's for, is a good time.
The man needed representation.
That's right. This is my attorney. You're not prejudiced, are you? But we
Diggy Smoen. You're not prejudiced, are you?
But so we show up to traffic court. All right. And we're joking around about it because I basically just have to wait for the judge to call me and pay $50.
Yeah.
Like that's what it came down to. But
some of the people were there for like real first shit. Appearances.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. But I basically had to pay $50 because I didn't have my correct license on me at the time. Like I just renewed it.
Yeah.
Something stupid like that. But And it's Washington, so
Yeah.
you're paying weird shit.
The bureaucracy is strong.
So we go there, and we're enjoying ourselves. Now, mind you, this is 1 PM. Neither of us have had a chemical in us for at least 10 hours.
Yeah. We're relatively sober.
I would say bone dry sober. But so we walk in, and we're sitting there, and we're laughing, and we're joking about it, and everything like that.
And we're laughing at the first thing I think that we saw to laugh about was the woman in like the biker shorts and the tank top. And I'm going to tell you, she's about 285.
Before that, the guy with the 30-year-old jacket that said Bellagio on the back.
Okay.
He walks in, and so I look at the jacket, and I hit you, and I say, "Hey, look at this fucking guy."
So you have to realize us giggling at each other is probably drawing a bit of attention from the people around us that are there to like.
You see a 30-year-old Bellagio jacket, you're gonna be laughing though. And then the woman walks in.
So like I said, the biker shorts, I talked about, she's about 285 with the tank top. But what really sets it off is
but right before this happens,
fucking killing me.
Right before this happens, the 17-year-old girl next to us asks if we're stoned.
You think she was 17?
I don't know.
She was kind of cute, truth be told.
I mean, honestly, but she was in fucking traffic court. I don't know.
I've been told by an attorney before you're not allowed to meet girls in court. But
it depends which court you're in.
We're laughing, and she said, "Are you guys stoned?"
No. For the first time.
We're not.
In the first time of the history of our court dates.
So we're looking at this girl, this woman, the linebacker looker,
6'3",
and she has a tattoo on her arm that says Angel, and we're laughing about it. And Chris loses his shit. Like, I mean, he's fucking laughing. He's almost fallen off the bench laughing in the middle of a courtroom, a packed courtroom. The judge is talking, bringing down hellfire on whoever's in front of him. And this guy's fucking falling over laughing. He has to walk out and excuse himself to get his shit together.
Honestly, you know what I lost? So I'm sitting there busting up laughing in the middle of traffic court. Just fucking going nutty. Everyone in the fucking place is looking, because I look over and I see Angel on this fucking broad's arm. As I look over and see Angel, I hear the prosecutor say, "Sir."
Wait, let's before you hit the punchline, let's set the stage. This guy's clearly Bellagio jock, clearly homeless, and you don't think so?
I don't know about. I mean,
okay, this isn't a dig at homeless, but
no.
Fuck, he's methed out white trash.
Government housing. He has a roof, but he ain't paying for it.
I like to use the word houseless because home is where you make it. But
fuck you, that's mine. I've been telling that joke since fucking high school. Fuck you, stealing that.
Okay, I think there's going to be a disagreement that we'll argue about after the show, but we'll go on.
Keep him in.
Either way, this guy was there for a first appearance, I believe, on a meth possession. It was something like that.
It anyway.
It didn't have to do with. It was. He was there for something completely different. And he's arguing. He had been thrown out of the STA bus plaza.
My guess is whatever happened to him, whatever the reason he was there, happened at the bus plaza.
Yeah, he'd been thrown out of the bus plaza.
So
I thought it might have been a possession
at the bus plaza.
Yeah.
Or he had possession at the bus plaza.
I thought it was a possession or something. So he's there to answer for whatever it was, possession or whatever, some kind of misconduct or something. And
it sounded like they had a deal. It sounded like him and the prosecutor had a deal until
yes. I'll let you hit the punchline.
So until they, they're going over everything, and all I hear is while he's arm in arm with the angel, all I hear is, "Sir, this court does not have the authority to get you back in the bus plaza." And I fucking lose it. I have to run outside while the judge is calling all these fucking people. I am losing my shit.
I go back to Sir. Like, I hate to cut you off, but this court does not have the authority to get you back into the bus plaza.
And if you know the Spokane Bus Plaza, know it's basically the fucking greasy hangout in Spokane.
Yeah, if you're, it's like the place you go. It's like scoring drugs on the corner in Harlem or something. It's kind of greasy.
It's where you go after you score drugs in Harlem. It's where all the people go after they and hang out, kind of thing. Because
just outlining the level of crime down there.
To be honest, I've never been able to score drugs at the bus plaza. I may have tried on it this night. So anyway, that's another C Squared story.
I hope you guys enjoyed that as much as we have over the years.
A lot of our stories, we feel like you had to be there. But having to leave and compose yourself during traffic court
in a courtroom,
or where you're there to basically say, "Hey, give me my receipt for the $50 I'm about to pay," and while everyone else is there, fucking 18-year-old girl, "You guys stoned?" "No, actually, we're not. He's just a fucking loony."
Hey, you notice she's 18 now. She was 17 a minute ago.
Yeah, well, all I know, this was about 8 years ago. So, hey, I'm
going to say it's probably further back than that.
Probably. It could be close to 10 or 12.
I was thinking...
Well, Crew...
12 to 14.
Crew in Portland was 2010. Still have the shirt.
I do, too.
Mm-hmm. So...
I think we've talked about that on this podcast.
Mm-hmm. So, I think that was before the Crew. So,
well before.
At least
that
2010.
Was Cortland days, dude.
At least 2010.
I'm pretty sure we were living at Cortland at the time.
All right, so we're winding down here, but we're going to go into Cortland stories well before. Before we wind up, did you have anything you wanted to add? Did you want to, nothing that can't wait till next week?
No, I don't think so.
All right, well, I want to once again thank Sam and Kayla for the beer.
You looked at me like there was something I should have known. Like, all of a sudden, I feel like a kid who didn't do his fucking homework. What did I forget?
I'm that teacher. I'm the guy that says, what's the answer? And you give me the answer. You think so?
He gets the best out of me, folks.
Hey, you think so? Well, you're right. I'm that game show host.
And tell him what he won, folks.
So, I want to thank Sam and Kayla for the beer recommendation.
Absolutely.
Lagunitas Hazy Memory IPA. They sponsor another podcast. They brought it up last time. So, hey, guys. You got SoCal. Let's get No Am. What their sponsor show in SoCal? What's No Am? North America. I don't know. Sponsor show in Washington, fuckers.
Oh, did you want me to jump in on that one? I'm sorry.
No, I was hoping you had something better. No, I was really hoping you were going to bail me out.
I was kind of spacing out. And then I saw you over there struggling. I just kind of went with it. Looking good. Sorry, dude.
Yeah, you're fine. Lagunitas Brewery out of somewhere in California. Hazy Memory IPA. Thank you once again, Sam, Michaela, for the hookup. And if you people don't share this after I shout you out, you're dead to me.
Hey, I don't know if we said this, but satire.
I don't think we have to say it with all the with all the descriptions I write on the on the show headlines or the
I
titles.
like how he takes credit for all the work of the show right there. The ones he writes.
Name the last one you wrote.
If you let me
Anywho.
in on the creative process, maybe this fucking show wouldn't suck. That's what I'm saying.
I am the creative process.
Fucking out of here. I feel like every week it's the same shit. I've had fucking enough of this.
Fuck you, man.
Jesus Christ.
That's the end of every one of our conversations. So, fuck you, man. I'm out of here. Thank God you're the one closest to the door.
Get your fucking shine box.
Lagunitas Brewery, Hazy Memory IPA. Both of the Chris's absolutely enjoyed it. If you enjoy this, share it around. We are on... the links are on Instagram, Twitter, Facebook. We're on every fucking...
It's on YouTube, man.
We're on every fucking medium you can find podcasts on. Everywhere you go, you're going to find us. I made sure of that. So make sure you share us around. Tell your friends. Because you know what happens once you tell your friends? You fuckers are getting merch.
Fuck yeah.
You fuckers are getting more. You're getting more content. You're getting merch.
You know, the bigger this gets, the better it's going to get. Because I'm telling you, wait for it. Sound guy.
To be fair, it's not always the size. It's how you use it. Anyway, if...
That's what he would say.
That is what I would say. Made me a living. So, anyway, if there's nothing else, we will see you all.
It always gets him off. The guy has never failed to come. He has that going for him.
It always gets me off.
You can edit that if you need to.
No, I love it. Stupid. I love it. So, if there's nothing
sorry
else...
for the stupid joke. I'm fucking apologizing right now.
Who the fuck are you talking to? That should be my middle name. Anyway, thank you all for listening. I hope you enjoyed this episode. This is kind of what we were hoping for, just fucking nutty the whole way through.
Was it? I thought we got a little serious in the middle there.
We did, but we were nutty in the seriousness. So, whereas last week we didn't get real nutty until the end of it.
Do we have time to fill? Is that why we're carrying on?
No, it's a podcast. We could go as long as we want. I'm just saying, this is coming organically, bro. Just let it come. Let us know if you like us being fucking nutty and goofy from the beginning. Anyway, Lagunitas Brewery, Sam Michaela, you better fucking share this. He's Chris. I'm Chris. We love each other. No matter how little he blows me. And if there's nothing else, we will see you all next week.